Who is Evelyn Austin? It's just me. I'm a simple person. I'm a person who loves to look out for people, help people. Whatever I can do, chip in, that's me. I'm just a people's person. My family, we have a fairly big family. I came from a family of 9, and my mom had adopted a boy, so he was raised up with us from the time he was 3 years old. So he became our brother too. So it's 10 of us basically. Most of my family, they live abroad between Canada and America, but we always keep in connection. And when I visit Barbados, especially my mom, everybody get together and probably take out to lunch or have a trip or around Barbados. The things we do together as a family. So we're not the best in the world, but we're still a family.
Bank on Me, the reality show that means business, coming to you from Scotiabank Skymore Barbados. Your host, Belle Holder.
Welcome everyone, episode 4 already. We're really flying toward the finale. After a tough marketing and branding challenge last week, Amanda McKenzie of Row It was declared the challenge winner and therefore safely into the next round.
Congrats, Amanda.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my company, Global Export Systems, will be willing to work with you for the next 3 months to help you with your digital marketing, all your digital marketing needs. We'll be there for you if you need it.
We will. After the next 3 contestants were announced, one of last week's guest judges, Jonathan Reed, had choice words for the last 2.
Star trading, been in the business for 24 years, extensive experience, dynamic products, but we didn't see it shine through the presentation. Used the time pretty badly, quite frankly. Didn't get to the meat of the matter, didn't get to the dynamics of what we were expecting to see for you. And quite frankly, my role, I held you to a higher standard because you were in the business for a lot longer than these other guys. And I was expecting something really dynamic. Herman, on the other hand, we think that you have such a tremendous product with potential. However, we don't think you represented it well. You didn't present a cut that had secure firm, financially secure. You didn't get to the meat of the matter. We were a little bit lost in terms of your marketing mix. We didn't think you allocated the 10,000 spell in a matter that made sense.
Star Trading scraped through, and Daron was advised to up his game for today's export challenge. So we'll see if he took the advice to heart. True to form, Bank on Me provided expert guidance for the export challenge. Hosted by the Barbados Investment and Development Corporation and presented by David Levine.
Before you go into any market or do anything, you must do research. I don't think we do a lot of research now, but before, parents used to do a lot of research and say, well, don't bring back that guy, he family ain't really up to scratch. Nowadays, I don't think that has happened, but way back, people used to do the research where the children bring home a guy or a girl. You really know who he or she is? She says it's his body, don't You must do your research. Research allows you to save time and money because you'll be able, but I'll tell you this, a lot of people in Barbados do not have no respect for research because it's an intangible sort of thing. But it's very important. Do not go in the market unless the product I can tell you about, if I had done my research properly, I wouldn't have spent $1,500 US. But it was on a roll. And a few people wanted it. A few American supermarkets wanted it. So it's all right. But spending $1,500 doesn't mean I didn't lose money on it. But it could have saved me 3,000 Barbados dollars if I had done research properly on it. And you must understand your consumer behavior. Consumers behave in a certain way. And when you tackle in the market, I know that some of my products do very well during the summer. And when the summer is finished, like now, fall, another set of products will take over, start doing better. Because research allows you to know who really is your target market. So then you would focus on fit your product to suit your target market, which will allow you to be more profitable.
Which markets do you believe you will enter next, or do you plan to enter next?
Presently, we are developing Philadelphia, and Boston. But the next market that we want to go into is Toronto. One of the things that you must remember, you got to be cognizant that people must be able to pay. We were in the UK very big, and I lost a lot of money in the UK. A lot of money. But everybody, right now, everybody in Barbados has the same distributor in the UK. So I would not approach that distributor. But it's difficult to find distributors throughout the world, I would say, that want to carry a product and really work with it. But Canada is the next market that we're looking at very seriously.
I guess our exporting, agriculture or seeds.
Yeah.
I don't know what sort of, because I know when we bring them in, we have to get certain permits and stuff like that.
You gotta get a certificate.
Yeah. So if
you should. Don't do like me. Go straight ahead though. You should build a model that when you go to the region or somebody come here, comes here and say, look, this is something that should fit well with our greenhouse or whatever, and approach you. So then you have a model to say this is what we be selling you.
More great cities just got closer. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard is now even better. Fly to New York, Miami, Orlando, and Fort Lauderdale with just 20,000 Scotia points. With your new Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard, you'll receive a welcome bonus of 10,000 Scotia points, so you can enjoy the cities you love most sooner than ever. Apply today. Call 426-7000 or visit your nearest branch.
This is for you, the hero of the household, the one whose to-do list is too long, the kind who does and never says can't. At Ace H&B, we know paint is more than just a color. It's a feeling, a texture, an emotion. It's making the right match to the right mood, to the right space. It's inspiration, creation, and design. Dip the paint, glide the brush, set the mood inside and out. Tell your story with color. We are Ace H&B Hardware, the place to create and be inspired. Just ask.
Well, the finalists recently had a session with Bev Cork. How did it go? It's all about personal branding. How did it impact on you?
It impacted on me in terms of presence and making sure you have a solid presence as you stand, as you enter a room, always smiling and walking really, really elegantly.
Well, Bev was interesting. She pretty much showed me how I carry myself might be a little bit, a bit overwhelming to some people. So she tried to get me to tone it down just a little bit.
What are you doing differently in terms of, because I know Bev can get real specific in terms of breaking down, your imaging and your branding. So what are you doing differently?
I'm trying to stand up straight now. She always told me to just stand up straight with the shoulders back. I guess it gives you a more confident walk. So that's what she taught me, and just right to represent the brand as best as possible.
She's such an amazing person. Like, she just totally analyzed myself and the business, and she told me, these are the color shirts you should wear, these are the color shoes you should be wearing, the socks, and she just brought me down, and then I saw what she was trying to, that image that she wanted for me, and I love that image.
So in today's Yes We Can segment, sponsored by the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, better known as YES, we hear from Michael Holder of Blessed Rentals. Michael is another successful Bank On Me alum who is bringing innovation to transportation for the disabled community.
You are now where I was. My advice to you is to stick it. Hang in there. You have to be point on, you have to be positive and focused, and you will reach where I have gone. It's been a year since I was a finalist on Bank On Me, and during that year I've gotten a lot of exposure. I have met a lot of persons who have watched the show and who were really enthused by my business. It has also helped me to gain business with a lot of the other tour companies, and it has really improved not only my profit margin, but has also improved my exposure throughout the Caribbean. Currently, I am importing my 6th vehicle regarding disabled transport, and basically the business is growing. And I thank Bank On Me for that opportunity. Remember, Bank On Me, absolutely.
Let's meet the judges and hear the pitches next.
Get your paper, only $2.25, $2.20, who? For what? That's Bear Stare News. I don't read about that from Barbados today since last night. That can't only can't do. $2.20, who?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. Just know you're not alone, 'cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Whatever home means to you is what your home means to us.
Don't miss Ranker's pre-independence sale. 20% off a wide selection of items. Now until November 29, 2016.
Irie. Irie.
Irie.
Irie Foods, however you say it. Jamaican for real.
Irie Foods restaurants for authentic Jamaican cuisine. Dine in or take out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the 2nd Avenue Dover location.
Let's say welcome back to Eddie Abed, who's the Managing Director of Abed's.
Thank you, Belle. A pleasure to be back, and sorry about last week, but looking forward to a lot more this week.
The next judge is Sharon Small, who's the Marketing Manager for Scotiabank Caribbean East.
Thank you, Belle, and welcome back, Eddie. Glad to be here. Glad to have you back, and glad to be here for another week.
Judge number 3 is Richard Haynes, founder of South Central Entertainment.
Ready for action, Belle. Today is going to be amazing. Down to the top 5, and we're ready.
Next to Richard is Shelley Williams, founder and director of Platinum Services.
Thank you, Belle. Looking forward to seeing who we can invest in.
And let's say a warm welcome to our guest judge for this week, Beverly Aline, who is a Senior Business Development Officer in the Export and Business Development Division of the Barbados Investment and Development Corporation, the BIDC. Welcome on board.
Thank you so much for having me and for having Barbados Investment Development Corporation as a representative here on the show. Excited.
All right, so judges, the stakes are high this week. What are you guys looking for as we get closer to the overall winner of Bank on Me?
Well, I'll tell you what, today's challenge is going to be very interesting. And Eddie, I must say, last week you were very well represented by Jonathan. He took the Axeman job in his hands and really represented. So welcome back, Eddie, and I'll tell you, Eddie being back and missing a week, he's ready to whip out the axe and take off someone's head. So I'm hoping the 5 are ready today.
All right, so well, the judges have their axes out. I hope contestant number 1 is ready to face the judges.
Further on, as now you have a solid foundation in your market, home market, you're now looking at exporting your product. What are the challenges that you see, or what are the opportunities do you see to allow you to make that step?
Well, you see, we have a bit of distributors overseas already, and to get into certain markets, I need the HACCP certification. And as you know, the HACCP certification would allow me to be of international standard to get into those markets.
Our objectives are, and rationale, are want to offer Barbadian products to the Barbadians living overseas, to expose those natives that are out there who, in their respective markets, are demanding a taste for Barbadian products or Caribbean products. And the rationale for all of this is really to see our growth and expansion in the company and to earn foreign exchange for Barbados. In terms of the selection of your export market, we've chosen the U.S., starting with the New York, Boston, Florida, and Connecticut, mainly because we've seen a high centration of Caribbean and Barbadian people living in those areas. The rationale is because we've had plenty of requests, and from not only from individuals but from potential and interested distributors overseas, loyal customers who are begging for the product. And in terms of our when the hot sauce market, has been said through the Ethnic Foods Market Report that they've already seen 150% increase since the year 2000 in terms of the sauce market. In terms of the preferred method of export entry, we've chosen a combination of direct and strategic alliances, given that we already have experienced distributors there, and we want to then forge more strategic alliances through private labeling so that we can, increase our productivity. In terms of the export markets, you can see there 27% is in the world is through U.S. from the Caribbean. The plant registration with the FDA is an issue that we obviously have to deal with, and you also have to register as a LACF under the FDA, and that's the low acid canned foods. It's actually a provision within the FDA agreement. These are the products that we have here, and we understand that some of the labels that we have aren't up to scratch in terms of the international market. We have done it in the UK and Canada, but in terms of the US, they're a little different in terms of what they want for the labeling requirements. Our website, we want to have the website done so that we can get proper feedback and target the community groups, and do some market visits to show where we can put the product, so we can then communicate that to the distributors for doing end caps and different giveaways that we want to do. What we want to do is then hire an export sales rep, which we have to do, and then an export sales manager to then take control of those exports and the documentation necessary, so we have somebody doing that and making the process more efficient.
You came out well prepared this week. I think you hit pretty much all the nail on the head for most of the challenges, in my opinion. One thing though, I would say you did touch on it coming towards the end about the Latin American market. And if you're going to the States, I would definitely have that as one of your core target markets as well, because there are millions of Latin Americans.
Deron, I have a couple of questions that I'm not clear about, so guide me on this.
No problem.
For you to be able to export anything, you have to first become HACCP compliant, correct?
Yes.
Now, how far away are you from becoming that?
Well, with the right investment, we can do that and have that done over the space of about 2 to 3 months.
2 or 3 months?
Yeah.
And the right investment is what you're looking for, which is $250,000.
Correct. Well,
so it's a chicken and egg.
A portion of that is actually HACCP, the cost for the HACCP alone. That's $50,000.
That's all. HACCP is only
it's $50,000. The rest is going into facility upgrades.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you done test trials to see that your product is not only competitive in taste and quality, but competitive in price?
Yes, we have.
And how are you doing in the UK market, though?
We're doing fairly well with the UK markets.
How are you planning to support your products in the US market?
There's a website that we want to develop so that we can gain more customer feedback and get information that we could then relate to the distributor in terms of the end cap, where the end users normally shop, and getting the product directly to them based on their already existing distribution channel.
I work a lot. I'm a very hard worker in the sense where I've been working a lot lately, but I do find you need to have balance in life. So when I'm not working, you could probably find me working out at a gym. Like, I enjoy, relieving some stress on the treadmill or lifting weights. And I actually love to just hang out with friends, go out to dinners, relax over a bottle of wine, just have a chat with my friends. My faith has actually played a huge part in my life. I'm a big believer in prayer. I love the Word of God, and I try to live my life around that. And I just center my life on the promises of God, and when I see my life isn't lining up, I go back to God in prayer, and I'm like, you said this. It has to line up with, my life has to line up with what you're saying, and He's just blown my mind, and He's done things that I could have never even thought of myself. And that is one of the reasons I think I've been able to take a lot of risks in my life, because I know He's always backing me up. And I love my family. I'm very close to my family. I'm a very family-oriented person, and my mom and dad have played a huge role in my life.
The whole thing with exporting now, you might have known that your product is good for the Barbados market. You would have done all your research here, but it's like, is it now ready for the export market, for another market? If you're going into Jamaica, you're going into Trinidad.
Our business has great export potential. We're looking to export the seeds, but also the concept of teaching people about healthy living and how to sprout, because we believe knowledge is power. One particular area we're seeing issues with right now is unhealthy diets among children. So we would actually love to go into the schools and schools across the Caribbean to teach kids this process.
So, as you get to the stage of exporting your product, I want you to kind of move beyond the fact of thinking that you're exporting just seeds. Because as we talk about Grow It, we know that we're talking about caring and healthy lifestyle and creating that healthy lifestyle for people. So when I think about it, what you're really exporting is really a healthy lifestyle, the whole concept of healthy lifestyle.
We have decided that in order to be successful overseas, we have to establish our market currently in Barbados in order to replicate our company overseas. Now, when we look to export our product, we want to start with an export drive that will enable the company to establish a presence in at least one country in the next 3 years, and then expand to 3 countries over 5 years. We want to work towards becoming an internationally competitive and establish a global brand. And we're looking to franchise our Grow It farms and kiosks in one market over the next 3 years. And we're looking to establish our website to enable e-commerce transactions, and we're currently developing that. So our first export market, we chose Bahamas. And the reason why we chose Bahamas right now is because their market is actually high income and they're highly educated. The average Bahamian makes about $6,000 per month, which shows us that they have high disposable income. Diabetes is an actual national epidemic in Bahamas, and the government is actually looking to implement programs because they have a need for lifestyle change, and they invest heavily in their education and youth, which is great for our product because we are looking to target the youth. And it's hard to grow food in Bahamas because of the weather conditions. So the Grow It farms will be sustainable because they're climate controlled, and their GNI, they're ranked 1 out of 24, which shows me that they have a lot of foreign investment, so the economy is relatively stable. We're looking to enter through e-commerce and direct exporting, and also through franchising. Now this is our franchise plan. We would like to establish Grow It farms, which is actually a farm in a container. And this will allow you to produce 3,000 pounds of sprouts a week. The 3,000 of sprouts per week will actually give you revenues of 3.5 million. And if we're taking a 5% franchise fee, as well as we're going to have a purchase agreement to make sure that they're purchasing the seeds and the packaging off of us. The franchise fee will be about $500,000. The Grow It kiosk, we're looking to provide wheatgrass shots, smoothies with sprouts, snacks and breads, sprouted grains, and seeds. So we're hoping to bring in about $11,400 in revenue per month from our Grow It kiosk.
I'm definitely impressed, right? Big time.
You surprised me. I'm
Right?
like, yeah.
Okay.
Like,
How is
Sorry,
she
I'm
gonna
so nervous,
export
but
this?
no, but
This product for
the
that.
thought process, it would have been so easy to say, let's go to St. Vincent or Antigua or your next door neighbor, but you actually went to North Caribbean and found an island,
That is
and then you
very
justified, similar to Barbados, and then you justified point by point by point why Bahamas will be a place. I'm very impressed.
Who are your competitors in Bahamas, and what are the regulations that would govern this type of operation?
There's not really anybody selling, as I know, selling a sprouting company there. Obviously, when you're importing seeds or food, you do need, they do require you to have a certificate, which is fairly easy to get.
Who will be your priority customers?
We're going to have a wholesale part on our website. So we would look to go into organic food stores, gyms, and just health food shops, partner with the Ministry of Education because of there's really, they have more lifestyle diseases there than they do here. So look to actually target that market using our education and teaching people the process, and they can always then order the sprouts via our website.
I have a couple of concerns, and I'm impressed with your commentary today, but I'm concerned that rolling out one export market in 3 years is going to take away any of the limelight that you're going to quickly establish by your success in this one country. It's quite easy to replicate what you're doing. This is an opportunity that's going to just mushroom.
Right.
And you're going to, literally the saying goes, cut track for monkey to run. So you got to be careful about that. The other thing is your cost of franchise. I did quick math and something's not adding up.
That's Barbados.
Yeah, but even so, do the math. If a store is doing $11,000 a month, it's doing $130 a year. You want a franchise fee of $500,000? That means I have to have 5 stores to pay you, and I haven't paid myself yet. The math isn't right.
Just to get a standard container farm, it's up probably about $80,000 or more US, and they grow hydroponic lettuce in it. And
if you
different
make
stuff.
the entry requirements, the capital requirements too high, potential people are going to find another way around it.
When you need space to grow, there's nothing like the home you own. Let Scotiabank open the door for you with competitive rates and support every step of the way. Visit us today and discover what's possible.
Khalil Bryan is a fun-loving, adrenaline-seeking, outdoors, enjoy life, seize, carpe diem kind of guy. I love being outdoors. I mean, we're standing here at Hilton Barbados and I actually can see this is an absolutely beautiful sunset. I love being outdoors. I love interacting with people. I get a ton of energy from being around people, and of course being around great people also helps. I've really enjoyed through my life traveling, but most of all I love adrenaline sports. So drifting, kite surfing, bungee jumping, all of those, all the above. So family is the cornerstone. I think when people think about what the role that family plays, they just say, okay, yeah, they're a support system and they don't have to contribute to that relationship. But what we've found, I've been very, very fortunate to have a very supportive family, from the emotional and mental and of course the logistical support. And then I've been very fortunate from my grandparents. They've been able to say, hey Khalil, we have no idea what this is that you're doing, but here's how we can support you. It's really the thing that helps to catapult you, because even in the hardest of times, family will say to you, or certainly my experience has been that family will be the ones that go, Khalil, we know it's difficult. We know that you're going to have difficult times, but you got to continue on. And they're the ones that even when sometimes if your faith goes, they will keep pushing you.
Veronica is multiple personalities. I have a lot of roles in my life. They've grown over the years. So early in the morning and late at night, I'm a mommy, a wife, and for every other hour in the day, I am an entrepreneur and a businesswoman. What drives me most now is my son, making sure I build something that lays the foundation for him. What also motivates me now as an entrepreneur, and what I have learned after being in different jobs, is that money isn't everything. And you can make a lot of money and be incredibly unhappy, and you can make a lot less and be overjoyed. And that's something a lesson that I've learned along my entrepreneurship journey. Being able to contribute positively to Barbados and my community is beyond important to me.
In terms of the telecommunications part of the discussion, so we have two major telcos in the Caribbean, but they're not necessarily represented across all markets. Is that in any way something that would impact your export plans?
So understanding that a number of the telecoms the two major telecoms operate within the region, what we need is somebody to be able to provide reliable data services, whether that is specifically with Lime or Cable and Wireless or with the other telecom. The actual provider doesn't matter, it's just to be able to get the information to and from the handsets that we need. We have and we continue to form good relationships amongst various partners. So as we start looking towards those markets, we would prefer markets where our partner operates as opposed to ones that they don't.
Hello judges. Barbados is a fantastic market to launch and refine a product. Because while we've got a small population, we've got a large addressable population. But as we look to the long-term viability of our company, we have to look abroad. Our investors want a return on their money, and of course, staying with a static population is not going to give us that. So we need to go to other islands to address a larger population. We need to scale. Then of course, we need to go into untapped markets, places where our products similar to ours are not already there. Places like Trinidad, places like Jamaica, and of course, places that don't speak English, like the French Caribbean islands, Martinique and Guadeloupe, where legislation is in our favor. We intend to go to Trinidad within the first quarter of 2017. And as we continue to refine the product to move into other islands, such as Jamaica, then maybe St. Lucia. And then of course, looking across the region is very, very important to us. We see a third of our revenue coming from EasyTrack, and then about 2/3 of that coming from BeepCab. E-commerce will underlie everything that we do. We're a digital company, of course. But when we go into a market that we understand, we intend to hire the right salespeople and of course the business development people.
What does the competitive landscape look like Uber and Lyft? We'll need to change the structure of our organization and bring on persons to do business development, sales and marketing, operational persons for onboarding of drivers and recruitment, and then of course make the technical changes we need to our platforms. We're also going to create an IP holding company that secures our assets and our intellectual property and allows us to leverage this should we go into licensing later down in the life cycle of our company.
Guys, I'm sorry. I just can't see what you're really exporting. What are you really exporting? Are you going to export I saw you had Uber and Lyft as your thing, but then you're saying to me that the tracking is really your money making.
Both products will be exportable. Within each particular market, we will look at the partner that we'll bring on board for that particular market. So if we go into Trinidad with the fleet management product, EasyTrack, doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go into that market with BeepCab.
I think it was a bit general rather what you would do if you were going to, so we were kind of looking for a more honed in presentation. Why did you choose Trinidad? What was the...
We have trusted partners in Trinidad certainly with the fleet management product EasyTrack, right. And then because it has a population that typically adopts technology very, very quickly. Product.
I can see Trinidad and Jamaica being sensible markets because the numbers, but they're aggressively competitive. I mean, like, when it comes to, Jamaicans, right?
Absolutely.
In Jamaica is one country you can have Burger King on one side of the street and King Burger on the next, right? Yeah. So when you go in there, they're coming for you, right?
I am a person that loves to help people. I am a person that loves to give and I don't look for anything back. So that's just really simplicity, as simple as I am. I don't know how to answer that question besides that. I love to give, and that's it. My family is as weird as anybody else's, but but they are very loving, they're very supporting, and I would be nowhere in my life without my family, and that's a very important thing. I struggle to keep them together. When it comes to holidays and Christmases and any kind of thing you can think about on birthdays, I'm the person I'm the glue that holds them together, but without them, I would be nothing.
I think now you've got to the stage in the development of the business where you need to do some research. Right. You need to do some research through the Caribbean to ascertain what type of furniture is best used in all the islands, and what you would need to compete with and make stuff to look like and perform better than. You want to make sure you got a product that is well made, desirable in style, and attractive in price. Yeah. You cannot afford to price yourself out of the market, particularly with a new product and beginning in this marketplace. You've got to be competitive.
Yeah,
so care has to be taken to buy your raw materials from the right sources, pay the right prices for them, and eventually make a product that is desirable and price worthy.
Yeah, that's one of our plans. Yeah, we just plan to cover all of our local bases first, and once we've done that successfully, then we're going to the export arena.
Now, Pilot House's objective for the future of export is to expand the brand regionally, build corporate relationships, and create more jobs. Now, as our brand portrays an intimate, comfortable lifestyle, we've had to choose islands that would be viable to the continuity of the brand and the business. So we have decided that within the next 3 years that we should export to a few countries within the Caribbean. Now, these would be Tobago, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Grenada. Now, we chose these islands because they all embody a feeling of relaxation and natural untouched beauty. Also, with them having a small population density between 50 and 100,000 people, and not many furniture companies on each island. So we're hoping to quickly become strong competition in these markets.
Now, to get into these islands will take a lot of legwork. We will have to piggyback with businesses
that ship to these countries in order maybe to share 40-foot container space to solidify our presence in the country. Only problem we found was that the shipping freighting cost, which entitles ISPM 15, is now regulated, requiring that all ocean freights using wood must be fermented or heat treated. With regional shipments, we believe that this fumigation is satisfactory, but exporting to colder countries in the long-term plan will require a heat treatment and candle drying process.
The only changes you will have to make to the furniture is for the actual shipping. Now, some of our larger items like television stands, kitchen islands, living and dining room furniture will have to be dissected for shipping and then reassembled when it reaches its final destination. Our customers will be receiving our products via our alliances locations until we're able to launch a franchise ourselves in these countries. Now, the only change we will have to make in our organizational structure in the future is to increase our production staff and hire administrative assistants to handle the tasks and orders in regards to that region.
I don't think that you're behind the 8 ball if you're not ready for export, but the mere fact that you've thought it through, that you've coming up with a knockdown system, build it back up on that side, that says something to me.
I think as a lifestyle product, I actually agree with these guys that going to the smaller islands that connected their product from a lifestyle standpoint, but also the key point is that there's not a lot of competition there.
No.
Right?
No,
so you're able to get in there and firmly establish yourself.
Exactly.
Right? And also I'm impressed that you've gone to the length of actually thinking through how to export it like Eddie. So you're on the right track. I think that you guys are at a level right now in your business where you're enjoying your local clientele and you really have immediate plans to export. Yeah. You did this here for the challenge today.
Yeah.
So
this packaging was actually designed because we wanted to, when we started, this idea was actually to have all of our products packaged this way. Yeah. Yeah, but this can work for the exporting as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Do not box yourself into thinking that this furniture is only for people that are low income. Because if you go on Pinterest, you will see that this furniture is actually furniture that people are using. Restoration hardware. All of their furniture, Fairmont Hotels here just did over their villa with all restoration hardware, and all the furniture looks like that.
What was the emphasis of your selling point?
It's recyclable material. Is material that is affordable to people as well, but it's just a matter of a look.
Okay. So it's high-end but affordable.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't know if high-end is the right word, a novelty. This is in vogue now. It really is in vogue.
I've been brought up in the hospitality industry. That's always been my area. I consider myself very outgoing, very friendly, which makes people want to communicate with me. You know, and just a lot of fun. Having worked in the industry, I see a lot of things happening in the background, like maybe like a single mom who's, you know, working as a waitress and she has to provide for her family and for her kid. People who, you know, need the money to, you know, cater to their families. I feel like I'm compelled to drive business to the restaurants, so that no more restaurants will close down, so that tourists, you know, they make their money from outside of Barbados and they come here and they spend the money that they made outside of Barbados, here in Barbados, which is foreign exchange.
One of my greatest challenges I face would be, should I be first trying to make partnerships with the restaurants, or should I be trying to get more people using the website first? Or should I be doing both at the same time?
Well, Hayden, one of the points that I think you also got to give consideration to, and especially as you start to look at expansion across the region, is how do you then reach all of those touch points in the other islands? And it may be difficult, as you know, in the case of Barbados, there are quite a number of restaurants in Barbados, and that's also so in other countries. And I think what you may need to do is look at the association. So typically in most islands there is a restaurant and hotel association. So you may wish to then target them because they have the opportunity in order to have all of those restaurants as well as all of those hotels to a lesser extent that may have restaurants as part of their database. So instead of having to go to each restaurant separately, you may actually then approach them through the various associations in those countries. And if you do that and it is acceptable, it gives you credibility almost immediately, because if it's been introduced by the association, it gives the your entity credibility.
I'm really excited about this challenge, really am, simply because we're in the process of transitioning to the Caribbean. We see the success in the numbers. So 53.1 million people traveling to the Caribbean, plus 48.17 people living in the Caribbean. We find that tourists always give us a better conversion to sales rate, and that's our primary customer group. Think about it. This is exactly what they came here for. They sign up for this: the sun, the sea, the sand, culture, and good food, of course, service. If we were to do the math and seat 1% of 53.1 million people, that puts us, and of course, charging restaurant $5 per booking, that puts us at $2,655,000. That's US dollars. And this is where we need to be. Our research shows that 99.2% of the restaurants in the Caribbean still utilize the traditional reservation system, and we can offer them the opportunity to go digital with Dining With Us. It's important to get the operations in Barbados up on autopilot, which means that we need to build a team to carry all the tasks that I'm currently doing on my own and executing the full brand awareness campaign. Next, we need to do the research in the on restaurants in the Caribbean and add them to the dining site. Next, we monitor the traffic going to the restaurant listing, then finalize a partnership when bookings are consistent at the restaurants. Currently, all of the bookings that come in through the website are via live chat, and we usually call in those bookings directly to the restaurant owners. The future is digital, right? This requires no phone calls, and any bookings made to the restaurants will magically or instantly appear in their reservation book. And this is why you should bank on me.
I was surprised that at this point in time, you have to collect all the bookings and then call the restaurant. I was thinking that you could actually book online directly and it would be registered that it was through your contact or through your webpage or whatever.
I have the technology, the digital book. I do have it. I'm tweaking it a bit before I put it out there.
How long will it take you to finish those tweaks?
So I would say about a month. First stage would be actually to add the restaurants on the site and then do the search engine optimization. The bookings start to generate. We call the owner, we let them know, okay, basically this is Dining With Us, this is the booking that we're sending you, and when it's more consistent, then we will want to form a partnership with you, and then they're just okay with that.
They're okay, Hayden, because they do not know there's a charge attached.
I agree, Shelley. It's flawed.
Even if you've clearly outlined this for a free trial for 2 weeks or
absolutely,
whatever.
Absolutely.
But nobody's taking that in free and then paying for it afterwards.
Yeah.
That's right. Not me.
Not me. And that's where I think the flaw is.
Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. Just know you're not alone, 'cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Whatever home means to you is what your home means to us.
Don't miss Branker's pre-independence sale. 20% off a wide selection of items. Now until November 29, 2016.
While the judges decide on the 4 going forward, which of course includes the winner of today's Export Challenge, here's a reminder to cast your votes on Facebook for the People's Choice winner. Here's a reminder on the prizes to be won.
The Bank On Me Season 3 winner will receive $15,000 from Scotiabank, short courses from Fairfield School of Business, $5,000 in communication services from SFA Communications, a QuickBooks package, training comprehensive QB Lab, advertising or promotion in Business Barbados valued at $7,000. business courses comprehensive yes to all 6 finalists, as well as a VIP reception and dive for 2 from Atlantis submarines. The winner of the Yes Innovation Award will receive $2,000. The winner of the Relish Agribusiness Award will receive a contract for $2,500 from Relish. The Cultural Industries Award is a tablet from G4S. The Fund Access STEM Award winner will receive $2,000. The Courts People's Choice Award winner will receive a voucher for $2,000. The winning Mentors Prize is a staycation for 2 compliments of Hilton Barbados Resorts. The mentors for the other 2 finalists will receive lunch for 2 at Relish.
Is it getting harder or easier for you guys to face the judges? Well, today I was really nervous, so I would say each week is comparable. But I just want to thank my mentor, Marita, because she's been actually a really good help in putting these presentations together.
You know, it's really hard losing one of the Bank-O-Me family members. I don't even want to think about it.
It's becoming more like a family, and of course you don't want to see a family member leave. So it definitely is becoming harder and harder, but I know that we're whittling it down to really, really great companies.
Harder in a good way. I don't think anything of value comes from, not putting in hard work.
Obviously, everybody's nervous, but at the same time, I think when it comes to, we probably messed up a little bit on the presentation, but I think you get a little bit more comfortable in a sense because you're getting familiar with the judges as well.
We can dream because there is where it all begins, with a step, knowing we can do it. See the light. It's time to realize our potential to grow, to be whatever we dream. Focus on our goals, to be the winners with science and technology. Together we can go far. Pride and industry, that's our motto. So getting qualified, we can go far. We've got skills. We can compete, develop, train, innovate. Come on, be unique. Focus on our goals to be the winners. So getting qualified, we can go far.
The Human Resource Development Program for Barbados, realizing human potential.
Your next taxi cab is just 1 click away. Here are all the taxis in your area. Type your destination. Click Request Ride. Here's Tom. He'll pick you up in 2 minutes. The Beep Cab mobile app is available on both Google Play and Apple App Stores. Come ride with us.
When the judges are deliberating, they take into consideration many different aspects of a business. Today's export challenge is a very important challenge as the exporting of products and services earns valuable foreign exchange as the company grows.
I am continue to be impressed by Gruet because she's selling sprouts. But last week with the branding, she hit it for 6. Yeah. This week, I find she came back again and the export challenge, again, she hit for 6. And it's such a simple product. You really got to think it through in terms of finding the right island with the correct geographical, correct demographics, the correct target groups, the correct campaign. I thought it was awesome.
Star trading, I feel like it is almost we are right. Like Barbadians should get behind Star and say, listen, this is more than just Bank On Me. This is putting Barbados on the map somewhere. Agreed. So the legislation has changed, the requirements has changed for them or changed on them, and they need that funding in order to get their product to be on those shelves.
I had liked the idea of going into the Latin American market as well, because all the other Caribbean countries are focused on the diaspora, and there is a very lucrative opportunity in the Latin American market.
About time I see some Barbadian products.
No, I accept that the boys' palate, who by their own admission are not ready for export, they at least thought the process through.
Yes.
And that was impressive. I must tell you, I was impressed by that. And where you have a buffet, as in the case of Caribbean Transit, one of the products is on cutting edge and one isn't. They want to export everything. And to me, you're diluting it.
They should choose on one.
Absolutely.
One product.
Choose one, choose the one that has the best potential, and run with it.
So, Shelly, I'm going to ask you, what will dine with us, Shelly? I can't wait to hear your feedback on it.
I think there's a thin line between insanity and brilliance.
When you need freedom to express yourself, there's nothing like the home you own. Let Scotiabank open the door for you with advice and payment options that match your budget. Visit us today. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
So the judges have deliberated and we've come to the moment of truth, when we find out which of these 4 companies will be going through to the next round and which one is getting the axe. But first, let's find out which company won the BIDC Export Challenge and is therefore safe for next week.
Thank you, Belle. And it's my decided pleasure to announce this week's BIDC Export Challenge winner, who automatically goes through to the next round. And that winner is Grow It.
Congrats.
Yes, we felt that you made a very professional and confident presentation. You demonstrated an understanding of the challenge, which was export, of course. And so you demonstrated that you'd done your homework, you did your market research. We were impressed with your branding of the kiosks and so on. And we felt that you understood who your priority target market was. You were able to answer the questions with solid answers. We may not have agreed with every final decision that you would have made, but we generally felt that you did an excellent job.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, the next company that is going through to next week is a company that these judges all believe that makes us feel proud of being a Barbadian. We feel that this business, we're excited to see where this business could go in export in both Barbados and outside of Barbados. I have the distinct pleasure of welcoming Star Trading to join us. Daron, congratulations. Congratulations. You're holding the flag high, and we look forward to seeing you going through, and good luck to you.
Congrats.
Congrats.
All right. All right, guys. The third company to go through to the next level is Pallet House. Congrats, guys. We feel you did a relatively good job, as we particularly like how you repackaged the product for export purposes. And we all think that your product has a lot of potential. So congratulations. I know next week, bring it again because it's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter. So congrats. Yeah?
Get it together, judges.
Sharon, we're down to the last 2.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised to be able to be talking about Caribbean Transit Solutions today, especially with the way they addressed the challenge. You guys, I thought that your presentation was a little generic, a little general, that you could have, in mentioning your businesses and what your products and what you're doing, it would have been better to walk us through something specifically so that we could see exactly how that was going to work with your export market. So being more specific would have been good. Secondly, I thought that you chose, or we all thought, you chose very competitive markets to go into, that it might have been easier to do a more grow, test, and learn your brand in an easier market. Like, as you mentioned, the ones that had more favorable legislation to grow, instead of going immediately up against the big brands. And thirdly, you have 3 different products. It's difficult for your business to focus on 3 different products, 3 different strategies, 3 different ways to present it, 3 different ways to market it. become known for something, for your one product. When you become known and big, you could bring the other products along with it. But we thought it would be easier if you would also like focus on one of those products.
Hidden equally with dining with us, we all have thought from the beginning that this was a phenomenal concept. The wheel is there already. You're not reinventing the wheel. There's Dining Table, there are Yelp, there are others out there. And what became alarmingly clear to us today is that the level of technology being deployed in your business is very low. And that concerns us. We really thought that you were at that cutting edge level. We thought that you, of everybody here today, would be the one that could export their business within 30 days because it's all web-based. It's all, it's e-commerce. We really felt that you could do something a lot quicker than your time frame, but it's become apparent, as I said, that the technology just isn't there. So that concerned us. Equally, your entire business principle of putting names out there, getting a booking, calling the person, the restaurant, to tell them there's a booking, seems very peculiar. We would have thought the way it should be done is you go to your restaurants, you tell them up front that you're going to put them on your website. There's a cost of X%. Give them a couple of months free as a trial, and then you get your paperwork in place. But the point is that restaurants are business people, as we all are. We need to know what the cost-benefit relationship is. Nobody gets nothing for nothing. We understand that. So that was, to us, a little shortcoming as well. And lastly, because yours is a technological solution to a problem that exists, booking restaurants in the Caribbean, one could be in New York City or one could be in Alaska and set up this network. So we're wary of the big guns out there who ultimately will come here. We felt the opportunity was there for you to Caribbeanize your solution, hit the ground running, and we'd back you. So there's a dilemma. Both presentations were weak. I think both presentations had some strengths. In earlier weeks, they were dynamic, they were super, but we just felt that it was lacking this week. And we're down to extremely good contestants now. So we have to fine margins are going to separate the winners and the losers. So it is with this backdrop that I'm pleased to announce that the fourth contestant going through to next week is Caribbean Driving Solutions. First of all, let me again congratulate you. You've done a good job, but you got there just barely. You need to get your act right. And Hayden, great idea, great concept. Hone your skills, build on it. Still a very viable solution, but you got to make sure you dominate your space. You can't let anybody else come into your space. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, judges. And congratulations to our finalists. Now be sure to join us next week for the Equity Investment Challenge, which will be the deciding factor on which companies continue into the next round and round out the top 3 finalists. Bank on me?
Absolutely.
Okay, Hayden, so you were not counted among this week's finalists. How are you feeling about your elimination?
Heartbroken, so heartbroken.
Hayden, we know that your journey continues, so let's take a look back at your Bank on Me journey so far.
Contestant number 3, lucky contestant, is Hayden Brown from Dining With Us.
So this is my website. I'm going to search for Barbados Italian cuisine. Yeah? And this is where you should bank on me.